Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton.
I'm Charlie.
What, did you just swallow a fly in here?
No.
Did you swallow a fly?
I'm Charlie Neff. I choked earlier this morning, and now I
choked?
haven't been the same since.
What'd you choke on?
My own spit.
You choked on your own spit and you haven't been the
Yes.
same since.
No, I haven't.
This is like Valley Girl problems. I choked on my spit, now I haven't been the same since.
Oh, that's a horrible impression.
Ugh, it's a horrible thing to impersonate.
Okay, let's get going. Our
Oh.
topics today.
Not bad. Slightly English, but I'm going to allow it. That was not too bad. Okay, it appears that this Liam Payne case has come to an end because
Yeah.
a judge has made a ruling in the case of his friend, Roger Norris, who apparently abandoned the guy.
Right. Roger got a big break in the case.
We'll talk about the Menendez brothers because we had them on a podcast we're doing called Two Angry Men. Harvey talked to them from jail. It was very interesting.
Yeah, great clip, and you want to hear what they have to say.
And finally, it appears that Donald Trump is an appeals court
Mhm.
because somebody else wants to get pardoned. Savannah Chrisley is asking Donald Trump to pardon her parents.
Wow. And by the way, we are live. And if you have any comments that you want to make about any of the stories, any questions you want to ask, comments about us, our amazing producer, Branson, will be going through the comments and we will get to them at the very end of the show.
So a sad little story in the Liam Payne case has finally come to an end because his friend, Roger Norris, has been entangled in this criminally since Liam Payne's tragic death.
Yes.
They wanted to get him on abandonment charges because allegedly he was supposed to be looking after Liam, and even though he checked in with him 3 times that fatal day, and he came over to his house and he was caring for him, he wasn't present when Liam fell from the balcony.
Right.
So they wanted to charge him, but good news for him and good news for the other hotel workers who were also charged. They've all been dropped. All the charges have been dropped. They're free to go. The judge found that there was no proof that, any of them acted thoughtlessly or recklessly or negligently, and so they're good to go.
Yeah, it's interesting because you remember the father of Liam Payne came down to Argentina. He was working with authorities, almost seemingly because he wanted to make sure the people that were involved in his son's death were punished. And, he wanted some kind of vindication, I think, to be able to move on with his life and make sure that the people that he felt were responsible in his son's death, that they were punished. So, they had originally charged all these people, and we were kind of confused originally about the abandonment charge because we don't have that here, where authorities had claimed that Roger Norris basically knowingly left Liam when they say that, he knew that Liam was not in a good state and just abandoned him, hence the abandonment charge. Roger always was very adamant. I didn't know anything. He was totally fine. But, the fact that he's now being released of those charges is pretty great for him. He, can finally move on with his life. But my gosh, what a push and pull.
Yeah, the judge said that even if Roger Norris had been there with Liam Payne,
Yeah.
there's nothing he could have done to prevent Liam from buying the drugs and alcohol that made him intoxicated to a state where he fell off the balcony. Like Roger, the judge basically said, and I totally agree, Liam was an addict.
Yeah.
Liam was going to find a way to get the drugs. Liam was going to find a way to get the alcohol. This friend who, was charged with abandonment, who was supposed to look after Liam. It's just a friend. It's just like 2 friends going down,
And this was something the father said. The father said, about Roger, he said he was going to look after my son. He said he was going to protect him.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, kind of to your point, Liam is an adult.
Right.
And there's only so much you can do, even as a friend.
Totally.
Only so much you can say. But again, Roger claims he didn't even know that Liam was in a bad state of mind.
That's also his defense. He must have known Liam was messed up. You're his friend. You'd know.
He claims he didn't.
But also, there's nothing you can do in those
There's
situations.
nothing you can do.
And then those hotel workers who sort of picked Liam up and put him in his hotel room and
Right.
locked the door. And that's when he was trying to escape and he slipped off the balcony and they were also cleared. And I think that's fair enough as well. Liam was causing a disturbance in the lobby. They were like, what do we do with this guy? Until the cops arrived. They called the cops, said, come over here quick as you can. This guy's crazy. And then they put him in his room. They hoped it would be safe, but obviously they didn't know how messed up Liam was that he'd try to escape from the balcony.
I mean, they did say, like, on the call, they did say we're concerned because
Yeah.
there is a balcony. So they did know it wasn't going to end well.
Are you the prosecution all of a sudden?
No, I'm just stating the facts.
It's true. No, it's true.
But, I mean, yeah, I kind of thought that was weird that the hotel workers, like, carried him up limb by limb up to his room. I don't think we would ever see that here.
Maybe not, but he was going nuts in the lobby and he's your superstar guest. I think you don't want to put him out on the street.
I think you maybe restrain him on the ground in the lobby until authorities arrive. But to march him upstairs, again, like each person was carrying like one arm or one leg and then like throwing him in there and locking him in. I don't think that was handled properly. But I also don't think they're responsible for his death.
Okay, moving on. The Menendez brothers came on our new podcast. Well, Harvey's new podcast,
Two Angry Men.
Him and Mark Garagos, who is the lawyer for the Menendez brothers, so I guess that's how we got him. They zoomed in from prison. Well, I guess they're not on Zoom really because they don't have Zoom in prison. They must have done a collect call, right?
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, our producer here, Branson, is nodding. They did a collect call, like, will you accept these charges? Harvey pressed yes. And then they got on the line. They talked about their time in prison. This is also because in a month's time, they have a resentencing hearing for Eric and Lyle. So they're hoping either to get the charges, get their sentence shortened so that they've already served enough time they get released right then and there.
Right.
Is that all you have to say about it?
Well, should we play the clip?
Let's play the clip.
Prison was hard for me. I faced a lot of bullying and trauma. It was a dangerous environment.
What happened to you?
I was picked on, bullied violently, and it was traumatic.
Wow. Yeah. They had a tough time because they were celebrities behind bars. Like,
Totally.
everyone heard the case. That they were separated for 21 years. They've been behind bars for 35 years. For 21 years, they were in different facilities, which is understandable because they committed the murders together. So you wouldn't want them together. But now they're together.
Did you watch the documentary or the American Horror Story or Crime Story show?
Look, I missed it, but I know that, and they give credit to Ryan Murphy and that show for raising awareness and starting this movement to get them free.
Yeah, I think like back in the day, people just felt like, oh, they're murderers, lock them up where we don't care about them. But then for the show, it definitely kind of showed them in a different light where it was like, oh, they might have been molested. Here are their claims, like laying it all out. And now we're able to look at the case with fresh eyes. They kind of say back then, no one really took men or boys being molested as seriously as you do little girls. So they've been trying to raise awareness for that whole, cause. And I do think there was a lot of sympathy coming from people, especially like on TikTok and social media. But, really the case is being re-looked at, not because of the series, but because there was new evidence that came out about a year ago where, again, their whole claim was that their father molested them and they had acted out basically in revenge. I don't know. The mom, too, they claim was like, kind of turned
Complicit,
a blind eye. Yeah. But the new evidence was that a member of Menudo, which was the band that their father was, I forget if he was like the manager or he had some involvement in the band Menudo. And one of those members came out and said that the father molested him, too. So that gave more credibility to their case and to their whole defense.
And obviously, when they were convicted, 35 years ago, the judge in the case that they were convicted in, he didn't allow, the defense to even raise that they could have been molested and give the evidence. So if they had been allowed to use that evidence, the defense,
it could have been different.
It could have all been different. So it now the resentencing hearing hangs on on whether or not this new judge is willing to hear about the potential molestation, and
Right.
and in doing so, potentially re-sentence them.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see. Like, if the Menendez brothers were free, I could see them getting like a reality show or a podcast
Oh
or
yeah.
kind of like similar to what happened with Gypsy Rose. Like, when she was released, she had like a huge career in entertainment where she's on her second season of her Lifetime show. I could see that happening with the Menendez brothers.
I could too. Okay, on to our next story. Somebody else who wants out from behind bars are the Chrisleys, Todd
Yes.
and Julie. They were sentenced a couple years ago now. Or they weren't sentenced. They went behind, but they've been behind bars for over 2 years now.
Right. For bank fraud and tax evasion convictions.
$30 million bank fraud they were convicted of. Well, Savannah, their daughter,
$30 million.
it's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Well, Savannah thinks the whole thing is BS and how there was fraud and corruption, and she's asking.
Okay, so where's the $30 million?
Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
It went missing. She's asking Donald Trump to free her parents. She says, I know that I'm going through the proper channels to do so. She says, I'm going to bring as much awareness as possible because these things shouldn't happen. She says that the Fulton County, which is the court that sentenced these guys,
yeah.
she says they're corrupt. And the reason she's raising the Fulton County is because they were charging Donald Trump with crimes last year. And so she's trying to make it about, like, this is the people versus the Fulton County, the corrupt judge, la, la, la. I think that it's an understandable thing what she's doing. She's had to look after kids, her brother and her niece, I believe. She's had to look after the kids. Obviously, it's such a stress on the family. If you could get your parents out of prison, I think you'd say and do whatever.
Yeah, totally. I can totally see why she would want to, help them get out. But at the same time, like, the struggle she's having now is because of their wrongdoings.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah,
I mean,
so like, should they be serving their time? Like, what happened to this $30 million that they caused in bank fraud?
Yeah.
I think what you do, like, your actions are going to catch up with you eventually.
Yeah, because they were convicted of forging documents using whiteout.
Yeah.
And a copier, and then when feds came after them, they tried to move Julie's business into Todd's mother's name.
Oh no!
Like, this is all like, you can't say that this is just like a corrupt judge,
right?
Like,
right.
They're using whiteout.
Look, maybe there is corruption. Like, I'm sure, there's a lot of people that are innocent that are behind bars,
Of course.
without a doubt. But I don't think this
No.
is an example of people not shouldn't be behind bars.
I still think that they'll get out probably, because if you're a Donald Trump supporter, you can.
I mean, it's nonviolent, right?
Yeah, I think Donald Trump might do it. Why not?
It's definitely possible.
Okay, let's read out some of your comments.
Okay, so for the Liam Payne, Roger Norris story, CA said, so glad to hear that. They shouldn't be responsible for another grown man.
Facts.
Yes, agreed. Mary said, abandonment charges? Wasn't Liam a grown adult? Yep, I think probably that played a part into why he's not charged anymore.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a tragic event and everybody wants sort of like someone to blame, a scapegoat, but the person to blame is the guy who died. Unfortunately, really sad,
very
tragic
sad.
case.
For the Menendez brothers story, Faith said, would never condone murder, but the parents of the Menendez brothers failed them big time. Yeah, if there was molestation going on, sickening, and I could see how, I mean, I don't necessarily see how someone could commit murder, but I don't necessarily think they need to be behind bars for 35 years. I think it should be taken into account with their case.
I think that they have served a great deal of time and they are sort of reformed. I don't think they're going to kill again.
Right. I don't think so either. Lamichi said, Menendez brothers murdered 2 people, let's be real. Yeah, they did, and it was a very grisly murder, without a doubt. Miss Lee said, I think the brothers served their time, and it's time for them to get a second chance in life. Yep. And then Chrisley's, for the Chrisley story, Charlie said, free the Chrisleys. Linda said, why should the Chrisleys be freed? Didn't they do the crime? Yeah, I'm not for freeing the Chrisleys on this one, but...
At least get cameras behind bars.
Oh, God. I
Like-
mean, they do, like, prison TV shows.
Why, they had their Chrisleys Know Best. And also, I've just seen so many shows shot behind bars. Like,
Yeah.
let's get some cameras in the court or in the, behind bars and, like, let's see what they're doing.
Chrisley's life with lockup.
Yeah, Chrisley's lockup.
Life behind bars.
I like it.
Miscellaneous comments. Sammy 3P said, our favorite Charlies, love your sibling chemistry. I love that she did favorite with a U.
Oh, that must mean she's from Australia.
Yeah.
Or someone come
or the
come on.
UK.
The UK got a U too?
Yes.
Thank you, Sammy.
I like
3P.
it. Thank you, Sammy.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thank you, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will see you here tomorrow.
Bye.